Hi, educators. I'm really excited to be here to guide you through a mindfulness meditation practice. I know that this past week for most of us has been really difficult with the closure of schools, with the transition of teaching and learning being moved entirely online. For some of you, you might have kiddos of your own that are home from school that are making that even more tough. And also for some of our students, having access to technology to even gain access to this online learning has been a struggle. So I'm hoping that this practice today can help support you in acknowledging what we're feeling, acknowledging what we're experiencing, and really preparing ourselves to respond in a way that is most appropriate and in a way that's going to serve not only us, but serve our students, our communities, our surrounding families. So I invite you to start by finding a comfortable seat. If you're sitting in a desk or a chair, just try to lengthen up through the spine so you're sitting up nice and tall. I have a beautiful beach scene on the screen if you'd like to rest your eyes on that. Or if it's comfortable for you, I would invite you to close your eyes to engage in the mindful meditation. And just start by settling into your body. Start to tune into the space inside that you know is there. Noticing each inhale and each exhale. Again, finding that space inside that you don't always get to access in our busy world. Although our lives haven't slowed down too much as this transition has happened, see if you can acknowledge just that minute more of time that you might feel you have to honor yourself during this time at home, this shelter in place. Breathe deeply. Say hello to this interior you. Acknowledge that this is the you that remains unchanged by all that happens in the world. One of my favorite quotes is by Viktor Frankl. He says, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and freedom." So much of what we're doing when we're practicing mindful meditation is about widening that space between stimulus and response so that our experience of being a human is more like being a tree that can weather the changing seasons. We can shift, we can change, but despite that, we remain steady. And Frankl's quote taps into this idea and reminds us that this space for us to find that steadiness already exists within us. It's already there. And mindful meditation can give us the capacity to be present to this space and to understand that using and acknowledging that space can be our key to finding bliss even in really tough times. Take a big deep breath in through your nose. Open mouth exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more inhale. Out with an audible sigh. Allow the breath to return to normal as you reconnect to this quote, to this concept. This space between stimulus and response gives us the power to choose how we want to respond. And I invite you to reflect on your responses through this past week. Have you been giving yourself the space you need to process your response? Maybe have you been responding impulsively out of panic or concern? Reflect on these actions you've taken, not in an attempt to judge yourself, but just to see what is our natural inclination around responding in times of stress. Now that you have had a chance to reflect on your responses in the past week, start to shift your awareness to now, to the present moment. Honor that your response to stimulus in this scenario was to do a mindful meditation, and there's so much power in that. So send yourself some gratitude for that choice, that response. And now I'd like to invite you to take the next few moments together to set an intention as we close the meditation and move back into our lives that are experiencing constant change right now. Transition after transition. How can you cultivate this power of responsiveness? How can you tap into that space between stimulus and response to give yourself time to intentionally respond? What does that look like for you realistically as you move through the next few weeks? And once you've settled on an intention, or maybe more than one, repeat it to yourself. Maybe your intention is similar to mine. I will pause and wait before responding to emails. Whatever it is that you've chosen as your action, your intention, your goals around honoring that space between stimulus and response. How can you be more intentional? Name it now. Say it to yourself. Maybe even say it out loud. And place one hand over your heart. Put the other one right on top of that one. And as you leave this meditation space together, vow to nurture this connection that you've made with your deeper self. Return to it through your day, your week, your next few weeks. Knowing that when you come back to this deepest part of yourself, you're cultivating a clearer path to happiness, a clearer path to decrease stress and worry in this high stress time. Know that you have ownership and control over this space, over this time to process. You have complete control over how you respond. What will you do with it? And closing with 3 breaths together once more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Breathe in. Breathe out. Once more, biggest breath yet. Let it go. If the eyes are closed, you can blink them open. Thank you so much for taking time for yourself today, even if it was brief, to be more intentionally mindful as we approach this time together, and know that you're not alone in this struggle to transition and adjust to change, and that it's okay for you to lean on other educators and friends around you. I'm happy to be here to support you in any way, and I wish you well.